Coming up, a private company is now running the Iowa Hawk Shop. And later, as Iowans are getting vaccinated, the demand for doses is decreasing.
The Iowa field hockey team is beginning their journey to a national title. I'll tell you more in sports.
Pull out the sunscreen. It's going to be hot in Iowa City. I'll tell you more in weather.
All that and more coming up on this Monday morning edition of DITV News. Don't go anywhere. DITV News starts right now. Good morning and thank you for tuning in. I'm Ashley Wheel. The Iowa Hawk Shop has officially transitioned to private management last Thursday, bringing about a number of changes. Fulla Education Group will run the bookstore for at least the next 5 years under unanimous approval by the Board of Regents. One of the most controversial aspects of the deal was that the requirement for every professor to list their books at the Iowa Hawk Shop. Though professors can choose to list books at third-party vendors like Prairie Lights or Iowa Book, those businesses will no longer be visible on MyUI. On the issue, Iowa book manager Virgil Hare said before this, Iowa Hawk Shop had run its loss since 2015. Quote, Iowa Book and Prairie Lights were blindsided by this because the Hawk Shop hadn't reached out to us. We were out secondhand and thirdhand from instructors and other people about this information, end quote. Iowans are getting vaccinated. Over 2 million COVID-19 vaccine doses have been administered across Iowa. However, demand for the vaccines has decreased. This has resulted in the state turning down 22,000 doses. Across the country, millions of people are missing their second dose appointments out of fear of the side effects. Fatigue and flu-like symptoms are what's scaring Americans away. Moderna and Pfizer require 2 doses to be fully effective. According to the CDC, one shot gives the patient 50 to 60% protection from COVID-19. In contrast, the second dose gives 94% protection. Patients can get the second dose at any time. The CDC says even if it's been 6 weeks since the first dose, dose number 2 still counts. Meanwhile, COVID-19 cases are still high in Iowa. Sunday, the Iowa Department of Public Health reported 266 new positive test results of COVID-19 and 20 related deaths. Closer to home, only 7 new cases have been reported at the University of Iowa as of last Wednesday. Speaking of COVID-19 vaccines, the UI first-year pharmacy students are getting the COVID-19 vaccines certified. In previous years, students would learn how to give influenza vaccines. This year, they learned how to prepare and give COVID-19 vaccines. The COVID-19 vaccine has different storage process than the influenza vaccine.
It's rather delicate, has specific storage conditions that have to be met. Once we start using it, we only have, about 6 hours to administer all of the doses in the vials.
This certification means students can volunteer at COVID-19 vaccine clinics. The training lasts 10 weeks and they will be able to volunteer at local pharmacies and the University of Iowa vaccine clinics. This weekend was a chilly one. Michael, how's the weather looking this week?
Things are warming up in Iowa City. Today's high will be 81 degrees with a low of 63 degrees, but it will be a windy one as winds are expected to get up to 30 miles per hour. If you want to get some sun, you'll have to make the most of this great morning because the rest of the week is expected to dip into the low 70s and stay partially cloudy. Back to you, Ashley.
Thanks, Michael. People in Iowa City celebrated Earth Day all month long and remain working for a cleaner environment. The importance of supporting local communities was not taken lightly on Earth Day. Many people made personal contributions to improving the environment.
Find some sort of event going on in Iowa City or on University of Iowa campus, whether it's like a lecture or I know there's been like a trash pickups around this past week and this upcoming week, as well as just like I think just reflecting on kind of your impact on the environment.
The Iowa City's Mercer Park was full of plastic and disposable trash before local volunteers cleaned the area. UI clubs like the Environmental Coalition focuses on steps to take in order to maintain a cleaner and sustainable Earth.
And not just like, being knowledgeable about like the globe as a whole of like the environmental catastrophes are happening, but something that we can work on locally, I think is a very good idea.
Through community efforts, people can maintain a clean and healthy earth even when it isn't Earth Day. The UI is putting up signs about pesticide use on campus, and one on-campus group is fighting to get pesticide use down to zero. The Environmental Coalition wants more transparency from the university on where pesticides are used and the serious health issues that they can cause. While the university is legally required to show where they have used pesticides, these signs are often small and hard to see. The UI plans to create a task force in response to concerns over pesticide use. This will gather input from campus groups to use in future decisions. Trouble hits at the Anamosa State Prison this weekend. A correctional officer was assaulted when handing out a medication only a month after an officer and a nurse were killed during a failed escape attempt March 23rd. The Correctional Officers Union said that this is another example of chronic understaffing at the prison. The union president, Danny Hammond, said, quote, "I'm grateful that this officer is safe, but I shudder to think of what would have happened if this inmate hadn't stepped in to help. How many more examples do we need of the unsafe environment in our prisons?" End quote. The assaulted officer suffered bruising but was not seriously injured. The Iowa legislature is now debating how much money to give Iowa Regents universities next year. DITV politics reporter Lauren Johnson is live in the newsroom. Lauren, what are the proposed plans?
Well, Ashley, Republicans in the Iowa House have proposed no new funding for the Regent universities in the 2021 through 2022 school year. This comes after they took an $8 million cut due to the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020. The House Republicans, have said that they believe that this money will be made up through money from the government, the federal government, and other COVID-19 relief plans. However, the Iowa Senate proposed an increase of $8.2 million for Regent universities in this school year. The House and Senate still have to negotiate the official budget for Regents universities in the 2021 through 2022 school year, and that will come up later this year. Back to you, Ashley.
Thanks, Lauren. Now let's pass it to Destiny Cook for a look at Hawkeye sports.
Thanks, Ashley. For the third year in a row, the Iowa field hockey team is heading to the NCAA tournament. Coming into the tournament, the Hawks are ranked nationally at number 4. The Hawks will begin their quest for the national title this Sunday, May 2nd. The Hawks will face the winner of the first round matchup between Northwestern and Delaware at 2 p.m. The Hawkeye baseball team wrapped up the first half of their home stint, splitting the 2-game series with Maryland. Iowa opened up the series with a 6-2 win on Friday, but the Hawks would fall on Saturday 6-8 after getting off to a slow start.
I mean, there's 9 guys out there, and all 9 of them have to be ready to go and perform better.
Iowa will look to bounce back today against Northwestern. The Wildcats lead the Big Ten in home runs, so the Hawkeyes have to have a strong pitching performance if they want to win. Finishing at the top, 2 Iowa gymnasts are the last Hawkeyes to earn national titles. The Iowa men's gymnastics team will be cut from the University of Iowa's athletic program after this year. Gymnasts Evan Davis and Bennett Wong were named NCAA All-Americans at the NCAA Championship Finals in Minnesota.
To do it with another one, my teammate Evan, it was just an awesome feeling, and just having the team support there, it was great, and I don't really think I could ask for a better ending. So
the 2 Hawkeyes are the program's 112th and 113th All-Americans. The University of Iowa track and field team competed in Des Moines this weekend at the 2021 Drake Relays. UI junior Jamal Britt got 3rd in the 110-meter hurdles. He got a new personal record of 13.45, which is the 2nd best time in Hawkeye history. UI redshirt senior Jalen McConico also got a personal best with a time of 13.56 in the 110-meter hurdles. He got 5th overall. Iowa Director of Track and Field Joey Woody said, quote, "I believe they are just starting to race into form as we build into the championship portion of our season. I think today's success will add a ton of confidence for all of them. I cannot wait to see what Jamal and Jalen will do in the coming weeks," end quote. Up next, the University of Iowa track and field team is traveling to Bloomington, Indiana on May 1st for the Billy Hayes Invitational. Back to you, Ashley.
Thank you for tuning into this Monday morning edition of DITV News. Head on over to I'm Ashley Wheel. Have a great day, Iowa City.